Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're looking at the invisible infrastructure that runs your favorite sports bar or, that high-end smart home you saw in a magazine.
Yeah, the stuff hidden completely behind the walls.
Right. We have a piece of hardware with a name that, honestly, only an engineer could love. It's the Just Add Power VBS-HDIP-508POE 3G 4K receiver.
It's quite a mouthful. Let's just stick with the 508 to keep things moving.
Deal. Now, looking at the source material, this isn't really something you pick up at a big box store for your living room.
No, definitely not.
It falls into this unsung hero category. The black box that solves the absolute nightmare of getting high-end video onto 50 different screens at once without the whole system crashing.
That is exactly the mission, because in the world of commercial AV, the biggest headache isn't the TV itself, it's the distribution.
Getting the signal from point A to point B.
Exactly. How do you get a 4K signal from a rack in the basement to a projector on the roof without lag or quality loss? The 508 is basically a translator that turns that video into data packets.
So let's dig into the aha moments here, starting with the video specs. The sheet lists 4K 30, 4.4.4 with HDR. Now, I know 4K is resolution and HDR is contrast, but 4.4.4 usually trips people up. Can we unpack that?
Sure, yeah. It refers to chroma subsampling. It's essentially how much color data you're compressing.
Well, like streaming services do, right?
Right. Most streaming video compresses color to save bandwidth, which is totally fine for movies. But if you are displaying a spreadsheet, a digital menu, or text on a video wall, that compression makes the edges look really fuzzy and hard to read. 4.4.4 means no color compression. It's pixel-perfect clarity.
So it's the difference between a blurry menu board and one you can actually read from the back of the bar.
Exactly.
Now, the feature that really caught my eye was the built-in video scaler. To me, this seems like it solves the weakest link problem.
Oh, it's critical. Imagine you have this massive setup with 20 brand new 4K TVs, but you still have 2 old 1080p monitors in the kitchen.
Right.
In a cheap system, the source sees those old monitors and downgrades the entire feed to 1080p. Everyone suffers because of the old tech.
Your expensive 4K investment is basically wasted.
But the scaler in the 508 fixes that. It sits right at the display end. It takes the 4K stream and downscales it only for the 1080p TV while letting the 4K TVs run at full quality.
Wow, so you can mix and match generations of hardware without a penalty.
Yeah, it gives you massive flexibility.
Speaking of the user experience, let's talk about instant seamless switching. We've all been at a bar where they change the channel and the screen goes black for 5 seconds.
Ah, the dreaded HDCP handshake.
Yes.
That pause is the TV and the source checking each other's digital IDs. It's incredibly annoying. This receiver basically keeps that handshake active permanently.
So you switch sources,
It cuts instantly. No black screen, no lag. Crucial for video walls where you really can't have one screen blinking out.
And the source mentions it doesn't leave the audio behind either. It supports lossless audio, specifically Dolby Atmos, so you get immersive sound alongside the video.
Which is actually rare in distribution. Often you have to crush the audio to fit the video down the pipe. This keeps both totally intact.
Now, looking at the physical installation, the model name ends in PoE. That's Power over Ethernet. I assume that's to save installers from cable L.
It completely changes the game. Instead of needing an electrician to install a power outlet behind every single TV, which is expensive and messy, you just run one Ethernet cable.
Right, and it carries the video data and the power.
Cleaner, cheaper, and way easier to troubleshoot.
I also noticed a tiny detail that screams commercial use. Locking thread screws on the HDMI port.
I love that little detail. In a home, nobody touches the TV. But in a commercial space, you have cleaning crews, vibrations, articulating arms moving around. HDMI cables are notorious for wiggling loose.
Those screws just lock the connection right in.
Yep, prevents an expensive service call just to plug a cable back in.
Let's address the elephant in the room, though. I tried to find the price for this unit on the Source website, and it's hidden. You have to log in or call an authorized dealer. Why the secrecy?
That is pretty standard for protected dealer networks. Just AdPower doesn't want price wars devaluing the product online. They want you to buy this from an expert who actually knows how to configure it.
Not just the cheapest random online vendor. And there's a huge warning there, too. If you find a price listed publicly somewhere, buyer beware.
Big time. If you buy from an unauthorized source, they likely won't honor the 3-year warranty. Since this is infrastructure gear that runs 24/7, you do not want to be left without support.
Makes total sense. You aren't just buying a gadget, you're buying a system. So to recap, the 508 is the bridge between your network and your screen. It handles the heavy lifting of scaling, switching, and power, so you just see a perfect picture.
Exactly. It treats video as high-performance data.
And that actually brings us to a final thought for you to chew on. We are seeing a massive shift to AV over IP. If video is now just data packets traveling over Ethernet cables like your emails, does the physical screen even matter anymore?
That is a fascinating question.
Right. Is the screen just a dumb terminal now, and the real magic is entirely in the network behind the wall? Something to think about. Thanks for listening to this deep dive. Catch you on the next one.